this video I will show you how I fixed our toilet when the water was splashing everywhere. There was water coming out like a fountain and it was coming from here. This is a Siamp inlet valve for a toilet and it has a washer in here that has an action from the arm when the water level goes up, but also there was a washer on the top part. I will link a video for the previous time so you see how it looked like before. Yeah, it was splashing really everywhere. The water was coming out from this. I think there is a part missing from the inlet valve. Yeah, that's really, it can't be like this. There was a rubber seal on top of the inlet and eventually it was broken, and I removed the last piece and there was some kind of a pin coming out from the bottom of the inlet, and I think that pin is gone. But when I put my finger on top of it, you see it's working fine. So I thought if I don't find the replacement inlet, I mean I could change the whole thing, but I would try to find a rubber seal, a rubber gasket to put it there so it keeps working. I mean, looks pretty good now. Yeah, if I was moving it and then the fountain was starting. Definitely it can't stay like this. It was a Sunday, so I didn't have many options, but look how much water comes out here. It was really a fountain. There was water everywhere. If this happens to you, make sure you use a mop to clean up, not to leave water everywhere. But you see now it's low pressure. I just turned on the tap a little bit and it's really coming out by itself. I'm sure that pin was lost from there. Maybe it got flushed down the toilet. I don't know. To remove the top of this inlet, Siamp inlet valve, first I remove the side valve here. Usually these valves break very easily, so check this one, make sure there are no cracks in it. Also I'll show you later how to put it back properly, and using a screwdriver, carefully not to break the tabs. And that looks pretty damaged. Yeah, there's even cracks in it. Now if I would find the same gasket and replace it, I don't think it would still work because it's missing something. I'm sure that pin from inside, it's not there anymore. Maybe it is, I don't know, but I thought I will cover the top of this valve. I'll find some kind of part. This is the Siamp valve and it goes into this reservoir, and the reservoir is sitting on top of the toilet. So I could replace the whole thing. I mean, it might be a bit more difficult, especially in this case. You see there is a bit of a gap there. It's not easy to remove the connector there. I would have to remove the reservoir and then disconnect it. I'm not sure, maybe use a special tool for it. I was preferring to just get it fixed quickly without too much hassle, too much trouble, and the cheapest. Also, this is the Siamp valve, inlet valve. If you have a Siamp toilet inlet valve like the one in this video, you will need this valve eventually. It's worth it to change this instead of replacing the whole inlet, because it's a really cheap part. You see this tab, it has to go there when you put it back. And watch carefully how I put it on the part here. you do it like this. It's really easy. It has to move, slide up and down like this. If you don't put this part back correctly, the toilet will not fill, so you watch the level of the water. If it goes up fast enough, it's okay. Otherwise you can remove it and reinstall it. Really, this is the best way to do it. And check again for cracks in it, like this one here. It's I couldn't find even online this part especially. I guess when this one is when it's damaged, you should replace the whole inlet valve, the whole thing. I don't know. I thought I will look for some rubber piece to replace it with. When I put my finger on it, it was working. And later I realized that it's better to leave a bit of a gap on the edges, so it's not a perfect seal, because I realized when the toilet water was running, the valve was being pulled down, so there was a bit of pressure there, and I was thinking to equalize that when it's finished. This is the part I found. Seal rubber floating, whatever this is. Plumbing solutions, some generic valve. I don't know exactly what it's for, but it's the perfect size for my toilet. It's exactly what I needed. I mean, yeah, not exactly, because it didn't really fit. I mean, the size is exactly the same, but the edge here, it's thin on this one, but on the black, on the new gasket, it's thick, so it will not go on the support. It's too thick to close it. If you don't find a piece of rubber like I found, you can use any really rubber material and you can make your own gasket. You know, the gaskets are pretty easy to make. All you need is a piece of rubber and take a measurement of the original one. You can cut it with scissors or with a Sharpie, with a cutter knife, or you can use a stamp tool. The stamp tool is more difficult to use. Yeah, it wasn't going on it, so I thought I would use a cutter and at an angle cut a piece from the edge, reduce the size of the edge, and at the same time I leave a bit of this rough edge, so there is a bit of air passing through. I noticed that it's not good for this to be completely sealed. It's good to equalize the pressure when the toilet is finished. This is not the original way this inlet valve was working, but it does work in this way, so I install it. You need to hear clicks. 2 clicks is great. Perfect.
Find the notch, 1 notch here.
Now you have the notch here, 1 notch there. I will link a video in the description with details about this valve, how to replace this one and to put it back. But basically, when you put the new one back, you align this line to the notch in the holder, and then also the notch on the main inlet valve to this part. If you notice, I removed the arm from it. It clicks out from place. It's easier like this to screw the part in. It's much easier like this. And now I take the arm and I slide it between the guides. It's very important. There were comments about this in the previous video, why it won't stop. It doesn't stop when you don't put it in the right place. This arm has to be between those guides. That's why it's good to watch these videos from start to finish without skipping. Well, I hope you're watching this part and you didn't skip it. Anyway, it needs to click in place. Once it's clicked, make sure it's moving free and start the water and hope there's no splashes again.
Okay.
That's all. The toilet is okay now. Keep the second one for later, you never know when you need it again. And place the cap on the cover of the toilet and everything, and flush it a few times. Make sure before you put the cover, also make sure it stops, it doesn't overflow.
Also keep this one in case you find the real one. Find the real replacement.